from around the world. This microphone is funky. There we go. How's that for sound? And this one in particular, this is a drimba from Ukraine. This one's made by Olav Charenko. I think he names it Mofar, which means shaman in their language. Let's fix the cameras. We got a couple different. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the metronome out. Get the metronome going. But I got this. Oh, about 84 beats a minute. Let's turn off the thing. Let's see where. Let's go over. We was playing a harp out of Ukraine, a drimba. Let's go over to India, the southern part of India, to the morsing. There's two different names for this instrument in India. One is the morsing, and one is the morchang. Morchang is from Rajasthan, India. The morsing is for southern India, used in their Carnatic musical styling. The morsing, in general, they're a stiffer reeded, more aggressively reeded harp, higher pitched with a draw start, so there's a bit of a fuzz to them, so they're not a super clean and clear melodic. But you can really get them rolling with the breath. I don't know if I'd recommend these to beginners just because they're very aggressively reeded. Most beginners want to start off on something, a lot more flexible reeded, but these are a bit stiffer. The harps from India, I just like to refer to them as alien whistles. They're super outer spacey, old and new school sounding. And to get that effect, it's like I'm kind of beatboxing. As my tongue stays higher doing that progressive, if my tongue's higher in the roof of my mouth, it's higher pitched. When I start dropping my tongue down, doing that same thing. Michael Scoville says, getting into it. Yeah, how are you doing? Yeah, it's a Indian morsing, and they're really super high pitched. Let's go over to a different part of India. Let's go to Rajasthan, India. Let's play a Mohan morchang. It's made by a maker in Rajasthan, Mohan. There are four main brothers who do it in Rajasthan. There's Mohan Lal, there's Gorkha Gorkara Ram, there is Rekha Ram, and also there is Ketha Ram, also their sons Veera, grandson Bhagvana. I think Bhagvana is a grandson of Rekha, so there's families that make these instruments in India. What's your biggest one, says Genji? That would be my deep bass drimba by Plekhanov. I'll actually grab that. Oh, hello back at you, indigenous Warrior Queen. I kind of lost the beat there. I was trying to morph it into something else, and it just didn't happen. Let's go to a different part of the world. Let's go to Norway. This is the Norwegian. In Norway, they call this instrument the Munapa. Muunharpe. I've also seen it ended with an A or just ended with the P. But it is a wedge fixed instrument. The reed is driven through the center of the frame and blacksmithed around it with a wedge. They pound a wedge in there. Victorian Viking said, had the jaw harp when I was a kid and annoyed my parents with it. Oh, good. That is cool. Do you remember the harp you had? Yeah, this one is Norwegian here. In general, with when I play a Monarpa, because of these, if they have these really stylish recurve triggers, I don't play them outward because you do run more of a risk of breaking them. So Monarp, in general, are a clean melodic, so I don't play them super aggressively. Some random non-person character in RDR. Yes, big thank you to Red Dead Redemption for using the jaw harp in their video, because I've gotten that comment so many times. Thank you for noticing. Let's see, who else? What is your smallest one? Okay, we've had Jenny has asked, what's the smallest one, what's the biggest one? Just humor me for a second here. I will get the smallest one and the biggest harp I have in my collection. We'll put away the metronome. I need to get like some paint and paint an actual gnome on it. Ouch. So it is an actual metronome. But, okay, I'm going to grab my largest and smallest jaw harps. Hold on. If I can find them. I can find them. I don't know where. Oh, I think my deep bass djembe is hanging on the wall, perhaps. I don't know where you're at. Oh, there it is. Deep bass djembe. And then we need a tiny little harp. Don't know where my smallest harp is. That will have to be a separate deal for my smallest harp. Here is the largest harp in my collection. This is a Plekhanov deep bass djembe. This is a maker out of Ukraine. Makes this, and it is crazy looking. I really like it as a bass. It's probably similar in length to my deepest bass ship I'll also play that if I can find it. And let's just compare it. Let's compare it to a Shipanov. And both are killer instruments and expensive. The Plekhanov is more expensive than the Shipanov is, but the Shipanov is not cheap either. Yeah, I'd say it's quite a bit bigger. This one, the Shipanov is definitely deeper now. We're getting into the deep bass. We kind of skipped the mid range, and we're coming down in the deep bass. But check out this one. And I think he calls it Megatron 137. It's probably a reference a lot of times when you see Russian or Ukrainian makers, or makers in general, with a number after the harp. That's oftentimes referencing the length. So I wonder if it's 137 millimeters. Does it hurt? No. No. Now, if a lot of people complain that the jaw harp hurts, that's because they've bought this one. They get on Amazon.com or eBay and find this one here, which is the Snoopy harp. Since I've come out condemning this harp in video, they've rechanged the name. Now they're selling them. They used to sell them as Snoopy harp. They're also sold as a first note jaw harp, a trophy jaw harp, a bluegrass jaw harp, a hillbilly jaw harp, and the most recent addition that they're calling them now is the Civil War jaw harp. Don't buy these. These are awful. That really hurts my teeth, and a lot of vibrations transferring into my head, and it's not making much noise because the gaps are off and really large. So yeah, stay away from this one. I get this comment all the time: jaw harp doesn't make any noise. That's because they bought this one. And anytime you buy this one, if somebody gets tricked into buying one of these on Amazon or eBay, make sure you request a full refund from the seller, because that's the only defense we have against people selling musical instruments that don't work and that are dangerous, is just telling them, hey, it's defective, because there are plenty of good jaw harps out for a couple dollars more that are absolutely killer. Let's go down. We're going down in pitch. We're going down to the 0 octave. This is I think this was a G0, or it's near G0. I requested this untuned. Shipanov mostly makes tuned instruments. It's a deep bass untuned. Which one should I buy, and how can I know that it's good? Okay, if you just go to theharpray.com, there's a link in my bio. There you have a beginner. You click on shop and click on beginner harps. There's huge write-ups with pictures and video of jaw harps that are good and what different attributes and different price ranges of beginner jaw harp. Because beginner jaw harp isn't a thing, and it also is a thing. Beginner jaw harp is just a jaw harp that's, one, really easy to learn on, has a simple learning curve, and two, affordable. That is the category that is beginner jaw harp. Here's one I recommend to beginners that I still play quite often is Salagi Chancellors. Some of the Morchang are more beginners. Some of the Maltrommel are more beginner. But just check out this. This is one I suggest to beginners all the time. I had the harp sitting on my knee, and as I started playing, the harp started sliding down. I'm like, no, don't let the harp drop. The harp must not hit the floor. Yeah, that one. I can get lost on that one. That was actually my first real jar. My first jar purchased was a Hobby Lobby mouth harp, which is a Snoopy. My second jaw harp purchase was the Salagi Chancellor. That one's easy to play. It's fast to play. It doesn't click much, but it does require some precision, so they really play well. And Aaron Salagi, the maker, I was talking to him a few weeks back. He still plays that one when he goes on stage. He plays Blackfire by Salagi, and he plays the Chancellor as well. And look up Aaron Salagi. His band is Zord. He's Hungarian, and his father made jaw harps, Jerome, and he's now making Jerome as well. Really, really fantastic player. Blood is hitting the doohickey. I guess you could call this a doohickey. It's a twangery instrument. My older brother, referred to these as doingers. This is the deep. This is the deepest one of my collection. This is a deep bass Shipanov. Anything by Shipanov, whether it's super deep bass or really high pitched, is killer. Same with Mohan out of Rajasthan. I'm going to come in close here. Hold on. So you can see just how slow this reed is moving. Because the jaw harp reed, or the tongue of it, the lower pitched it is, the slower the reed's moving. It's making these slower sound waves. The higher pitched instruments, watch this. This is a deep G0. See how slow it's moving? But the higher pitched instruments, the reed moves a lot faster. Is that the deep bass? Super, super deep bass. Long throw too, so keep your tongue back if you're playing a deep bass, because it'll travel in and out of your mouth. So that's a good way to kind of braid your tongue if you're not paying attention. However, a jaw harp reed should not be sharp. It should have a sharp angle, not a sharp edge. When I make harps, I make a really, really sharp angle and profile to the reed, like almost like an airplane wing, but it's sharp on the edges. And then I take it on super high grit diamond stones and then dull it. So I got the sharp angle in the meeting point, but no burr, and it's the tip of it's dull just enough to where it won't cut you. That's how I do harps. Let's see, let's play one of my harps. Okay, we'll play one of my butter bass. It's a harp I made. Can you do the A-E-I-O-U thing, please? Oh, sure. Yes, that's what I teach people as beginners. First, just keep this in mind in the jaw harp. For the pitch we want to replicate, or to make the instrument sound lower pitch, you're going to want your tongue lower in your mouth. Like when you say the word low, bowl. Pay attention to your tongue. It forms a dish. Low, bowl. There's my tongue just back down there. Now when we say the words knee, tree, try that and see where your tongue goes. Your tongue goes to the top of your mouth. Knee, tree, low, bowl, knee, tree. So and here's that knee tree position. Low, bowl. So as our tongue fills up the cavity of our mouth, with it being near the tip, it's producing higher pitches of overtones. As we drop our tongue down, it's producing the lower pitch overtones. Although the harp is making the overtones all the time, it's just what you're choosing to acoustically reinforce. I've talked a lot about Jerome. Let's play a Jerome. I've got a Jerome. Where's my Jerome in B? It's a Szilagyi Jerome. Oh, my C2 sharp. I'll get down on the C2 sharp. The Hungarian Jerome. This one's by Salagi. The Blackfire are a good, low-cost harp that is fairly loud, and you can play them pretty aggressively if you have the precision. Now, the lower pitch ones, oftentimes, or the older ones made by Zoltan, were a little bit more clicky. I have not played a newer one made by his son Aaron, but I'm sure they're very good. Will the same harp sound different if different people play it? That is a good question. The noise it makes will be similar in the frequency range it replicates amongst different people. However, the way you play it and the way your mouth is and the way your mouth and tongue moves and the way your nasal cavities open up and your throat, all of that changes with the jaw harp. So the jaw harp when I play the jaw harp, or when you hear say Nico from at jaw harp for the jaw harp, it sounds very different even if we're playing the same harp, because our playing styles are different and the way we move. Because if you think about your mouth and your tongue and all that when you're talking, it's very personal, your voice is, and the way it sounds, and the way you use your voice and use your words and form sentences. So every person playing the jaw harp, it's going to sound differently. Major science to that, Genny, you can probably just dry it after use. Jaw harp, what I do for maintenance is I take like napkin, cloth. You can also use cloth, a soft wash rag or soft towel, and then be sure to wash it at some point. But dry it off, because it does get moist, because it's played in your mouth and up against your mouth. And then after that, I just use plain coconut oil you would get from, say, the grocery store, whatever, organic coconut oil, or just coconut oil, just any food-safe oil. However, I don't like vegetable oils, canola oils, olive oil, those type of oils. They like get sticky, but the coconut oil is always thin. There are also commercially available harp oils, but what I use is coconut oil. It's cheap, it's easy. For long-term storage, though, coconut oil is probably not a good bet. I've heard Neptune Shackleton of World Harp says like he puts a different oil on them when he stores them, because during the monsoon season, that coconut oil tends to get a little funky. Here I'm going to be doing some muting. This is the Jerome, and also Hungarian Jerome and Czech Brummel are super easily mutable. So like you can get the full resonance of the reed if you're not touching it, because that doesn't dampen it. It's kind of like you plug a guitar string, it rings out. Same concept here. Instead of having a string in front of a box with a hole in it, which is your acoustical resonating chamber, you have a spring in front of a box with a hole in it. Listen to the difference. Pluck it here, pluck it in my mouth. Only this acoustical resonating chamber, we can change the shape of it. Now what I'm going to do, here's it ring out. Then I'm going to take and put a finger right in front of it and mute it, just kind of like you would if you were guitar players. When they're playing muted, they're actually resting their palm on the strings to dampen it a bit. We're going to be doing that same type of thing here with the harp. Major Shine says, what do you drink? Well, I'm drinking some leftover tea. It's a loose leaf English breakfast tea I got from the local Vita Villa. I heat it up hot, and I have a special pot that brews it with a giant tea container, because you don't want to use tea balls, stuff like that, because that constricted. This has a giant metal cylinder in the middle that you put the loose leaf in, and then it cooks in the water. And then I cool it down by putting it in mason jars, and I put those mason jars inside of a cast iron skillet and leave them on the stove, because if not, those mason jars will be hot for several hours. If you put them on top of a cast iron skillet, it forms as a heat sink, and it'll go into the cast iron skillet and radiate out from there. So you can cool your tea off fairly quickly that way. Don't run your tea or your hot tea that's in mason jars under cold water, because I broke my one of my Atlas Strong Shoulder jars. I'm a jar enthusiast, but anyways. Drinking that, and I'm also drinking, I normally drink like a session IPA or something on a Sunday evening, but this is a Yingling, I believe. So I want to play muted. Here's not muted, then muted. Here's the mute there. You can hear it, whoosh, dull it down, but it's like a cool type of effect. Not really a smooth transition there. I've been trying to link those two parts of a song together, and they're both really cool songs, but I think that the timing change in between them. Oh, El Russ says, thanks, actually cool, man. I could never. Oh, no, pretty much anybody can play the jar. Just make sure you're not buying a Snoopy harp off the internet. Yeah, harp is readily available to people, and there's even lip-played harps. And if you check on the channel, there's a jaw harp hack for, if you just scroll down on my bio page, there's a tutorial on using a clamp where you can clamp it on most harps with wood blocks and play it up against your lips. I'm going to play a really readily available lip-played one. Super easy to play. However, I would not suggest it for small children because it does have some pointy bits there. But it has 2 reeds in it, sometimes 1. These are the Vietnamese Dan Moi. It's played up against the lips. So there's not much you have to do other than hold your mouth open. A little bit of space to the side. Look. See how there's room for it to move. And somebody asked earlier, do the A, E, I, O, U. I'm going to make the mouth shapes that are A, E, I, O, and U without breathing. Check it out. A, E, I, O, U. And then we can link that into a song. A-O-E, I-O-E, A-O. That's with me holding my breath right now, and then I'm going to put the breath to it and my glottis to it, and you'll hear it change. A-O-E, I-O-E, A-O. You can hear the breath. Here's without breath. With the breath and the opening and closing of my glottis. Little percussive noise you can make like you're beatboxing. I did not see your mouth move those shapes. Well, that's because my teeth are staying rested against it, but my tongue and mouth positions on the inside of my mouth are moving. Like if I say, look at my tongue. A, E, I, O, U. I'm doing that inside of my mouth. Reminds me of my old ringtone, says Looney Tunes. Theme from A Few Dollars More. That is yes, this is the comment. Thank you for that. In a lot of the old, I think they were, I don't know if it's appropriate to refer to these, but the spaghetti westerns, the Italian westerns that Clint Eastwood was in, they didn't have the big budgets that other westerns did at the time. Like you watch a John Wayne movie, they have entire scores written and played by orchestras. But the Italian westerns that Clint Eastwood was in were lower budget. They didn't have the budget for an entire orchestra. So you hear a lot of rattles, you hear a lot of whistling, you hear a lot of guitar, and you hear a lot of, jarb. And those were low-cost things that music could be come up with super easy. And you see jaw harps used a lot in children's programming as well. It's the spring noise. And sometimes there's just little jaw harp bits you'll catch in children's music because those are lower budget things a lot of the times, and that's a lower budget instrument. So is whistling, so is rattlesnake tail rattling, so is a guitar. Whereas if you employ an entire orchestra and a composer and a director to direct that and then have to record all that, that is much higher budget. So yeah, thank you for that. Name a car for edit. I don't know what that means. Let's play. We'll play one more. I want to play. This is an Ovcharенko. Out of Ukraine. This is an Ovcharenko. He calls it Dreamcatcher, but I don't know the actual name. Ovcharenko makes crazy ornate harps. Yeah, look at that. That's, I think, a wood thing that's pinned to it. There are pins that go through it. And his harps are, for the most part, full stainless. In general, I like high carbon steel reeds over stainless, but he does the stainless very, very well. If you're like saying wheelia wheeloo, wheelia wheeloo, wheelia wheeloo. Only instead of doing that, we're going to put our tongue and make a bowl and go higher. Wheelia wheeloo, wheelia wheeloo. And I'm opening and closing my glottis. Those are the glottis is what you open and close when you say the word better, butter, and bottle. Like when you say better, butter, bowl, bowl. Kitten, mitten. Here in the Midwest United States, we call them kitten, mitten. The tongue really doesn't go kitten, mitten is kitten, mitten. It's right down here. That. And your imagination is the limit with the jaw harp, because whatever your mouth and tongue and nose can do, that is your points of creation with the jaw harp, because it sings for you. If I do that same thing, watch what happens when I go from going to making those mouth shapes with no air moving, just holding my breath. And I'll kind of flare my nostrils out. Listen to the change. I'm adding the breath back. It's like I'm going but I'm doing it outward and inward with the gloss. And it's difficult to do that without the harp, because the harp provides you, a good harp has tight enough gaps to provide you a little bit of resistance. Okay, Major Shiny says, how do you get it to ring for so long? When I play it, it'll ring for half a second. Well, for one, is it this harp you're playing? The Snoopy harp? Snoopy harps are awful. And it rings in my head. It hurts my teeth. Or if it's playing for half a second, maybe you don't have it against the tips. This style of musical instrument here, there are lip played jaw harps and teeth played jaw harps. This is played up against the teeth. Put it up against the tips of your incisors, not on the outside there, but just resting up against there with room for the reed or tongue to move. It needs that solid brace point. Yeah, Glasser and Lighthouse rings out for a long period of time. Let me see if I got a Lighthouse. I don't know where it's at right now. But anyways, if you're pressing it up against the lips, doesn't do much, because it provides room. If the reed's moving and the frame's allowed to move, they'll cancel each other out. Here's lips. Here's teeth. And also, another thing, when you're holding the harp, let's just get a hollower frame harp so you can see. That's your problem. Oh, good. Yes. Anytime anybody needs jaw harps troubleshot for free, come on the live, and yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, also, don't touch the reed or tongue. Now, I know I talked about muting where you're touching the reed or tongue. You can also hold the reed or tongue, but it's going to dampen the vibration. So grip it in a way that you're not touching the reed or tongue. And also, if it has a tail, don't put pressure on the tail. Let the tail be. The tail can touch you, but it's best if it's just floating out in space. Peeps 172 sent a rose. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the grip I normally grip it with. Now, you'll see me doing different grips. If it's a Maranzano, I'll grip it like this, which is how they traditionally are played. If it's like a Yakut Homus, I'll hold it like this. I don't have a Yakut Homus handy. Oh, there I do. If it's a Yakut Homus, I'll hold it like this, strike overhand. More Chang, a lot of the time I'll play like this. Mon Harp that way too. But yeah, the main way that's most transferable to most different types of jaw harps of holding it, and most common grip, is thumb and middle finger pinching there, not touching the tongue, and then pointer finger resting in front. Don't put the pointer finger on top because some harp frames are really flexible and you'll compress them too much, you get clicks. So I put it in front because we're not wanting to put downward compressive power on it. We want to put a little bit of force just to rest it up against the tips of the teeth. Play something, says Knox Lanford. Yeah, I'll play probably one more thing. We got really good attendance, especially from TikTok. Big thank you to TikTok. Lots of people show up. Like when I endless live upload, a lot of times it's in between 5,000 and 7,000 people filter through over, a 20 or 30-minute feed. So that's very cool, and I appreciate that. Let's play another harp from Rajasthan. This is Master Gorkara, and his son Veera also makes Morchang as well. It's a brass cast. This is a Gorkara Peacock Morchang. And it's got some of them are real clean, and some of them have a really nice draw start. Howdy, says Adam Dillon 468. Howdy back at you. And it has a really nice draw start. Meaning the reed is sitting in front. If the reed is rested directly in the center, where's my Mohan? That harp is killer aligned. If it's resting directly in the center, it'll have a more clean melodic. I always get clicks out of that one. Let's see, hold on. Let me grab a different one. Like this Maranzano, if the reed's resting perfectly in the center, you get more of a bell ring. But you can't breathe in and it keeps sounding. Now, jaw harps that the reed sitting in front, the resting position, instead of being right in line with the line of those decks, is sitting slightly in front. It'll give you sort of a more fuzzy melodic. But it also, since the resting position is in front, when you breathe in, the harp sound. Just watch what happens here. One is not better than the other, but they do have different attributes that you can play around with. How much are they for sale? I think like $45 or $50, including shipping. They're not expensive. Dylan says, I love Morchang so much. Feels like I'm on a misty mountain sometimes. Oh, yeah. The harps of India are just so trippy. And very spiritual, too. All jaw harps promote altered states of consciousness or can induce altered states of consciousness, meditative states, stuff like that. I really, when I want to get down, I play a untuned Morchang with a draw. Because that breathing ties in with the altering of consciousness. How many do you have? I'm not certain. More than 100 and less than 300. Probably, yeah. Dude, I work at Main Stage at Pyro and got Dirtwire to sign my jaw harp case. Yes! Nice! Evan Fraser of Dirtwire, I've talked to him before. Very cool dude. We sent him some harps. Dirtwire is cool. And yeah, check out, I don't know if Dirtwire's here on TikTok. I'm assuming so. Follow them. Check out their music. So super trippy. So groovy of music. I can't get any volume from my heavy frame Snoopy jaw harp. And you won't. If you bought a Snoopy jaw harp, that is a harp that they trick people into buying. It doesn't make any noise, really. And it's very uncomfortable. I do not play Snoopy harp. So be sure you find the seller who sold you that Snoopy harp, which is a trick harp. They trick you into buying it. Be sure to get a full refund as it being defective, because they are defective by design. The only defense we have against vendors out there selling useless Snoopy harps and all their variants, they keep renaming them, repackaging them to trick people into buying them, is request a refund in full. If we can make it not profitable for people to sell the Snoopies, because so many people get a Snoopy harp, they play it, like, oh, that's horrible. That's awful. They end up breaking a tooth. They don't get any music out of it. They say jaw harps are horrible. That's not true. So that's our only defense against the Snoopy. Make sure you get a full refund. And if you bought on Amazon or eBay, there's a lot of protection for the buyer. So be sure to utilize that to get your money back, because they sold you a product that doesn't do anything. I'm obsessed with Jarpin, man. I'm trying to build a trippy live show for my festivals. Oh, cool. And then message me on TikTok and Instagram as well. Maybe we could do a collaboration or something, or I would probably share your jaw harp videos. Yeah, I'm down for sharing anybody's harp videos. We need to get the harp out there more. And I can tell you follow me on other platforms. So you refer to jarping. I used to, when I first got into playing the jaw harp, I just like to combine the words. Like, yeah, I'm jarping. So yeah, that's a deep cut. Master Gokaram Lohar Morchang is following our YouTube, because right now we're live on YouTube, the Harp Ray. We're also live on TikTok. So yes, dude, this is your harp. Nice. And I'm gonna come over to India. I'm gonna visit you someday. Cool deal. Namaste. Back at you. I don't know if I say that correctly, but I don't pronounce things in other languages as well as I should. But Kevin K2 says, thanks for the incredible effort. It shows how much you really care to help. Oh, yeah. Jaw Harpers make more Jaw Harpers. So, and when we get together, the festival for 2024, it is going to be going on. It's going to be going on in Bay City, Oregon. We're formulating, I and other members of the NIJH, the North American Jaw Harpist, we're right now hammering out the details of the 2024 North American Jaw Harp Festival, which will be going on in Bay City, Oregon, third weekend in August. I can't remember what day that is, but yeah, we're just hammering out the details right now. We've got it. We're having it. Yeah, Dylan, come on down to the North American Jaw Harp Festival in Bay City, Oregon. I'm going to be doing more talk about it as the details come out, and then a formal announcement once we have all the details hammered down. But yeah, third weekend in August 2024 in Bay City, Oregon. Yeah, I said we need to come out with announcements on this early so that people can save up and travel, because if you're traveling across the United States or from out of the country, you got to have like a year to plan. Yeah, I've had 3/4 of a year, but I'm definitely going there. I've kind of coughed this weekend. And I want to set the meter now. We're going to set it for 72. I think 72 is the pace which most people walk. I wanted a wind-up metronome. I have one on my phone, but I'm like, I want a mechanical object. Like, oh, stay there. There you go. 92 beat per minute for life. Okay, yeah, we'll try 92. I guess I don't do much in the 90s. I don't do it super fast, but yeah. We'll go 94, 92. We'll go 92 beats a minute. Dream to the 90s said I picked up a couple from the Harper. Was playing Ozark harps until I discovered your store. Oh, cool! Thank you. That's awesome. Porky Miller runs the harpery.com, so I'm good friends with him. And most of what I do is producing jaw harp content, getting the word out there. Dashman says, it takes a minute for my brain to come back from doing that and breathing like that. Dashman says, trust me, it's all fun and games until he gets his lip caught in the thing and it's going to hurt. Now, my lip doesn't get caught in it at all. For one, these harps are not sharp at the end. Two, if you're getting your lip caught in your harp, what is happening? Get in front of a mirror because you can diagnose this problem. It's not something that just happens intentionally or just happens regularly with the harp. If you're getting your lip caught in the harp, that means you've got it stuffed too far over here. You've already got it pretty much up against your lip. That you need space. See, if your harp's here, slide it back here. See the room? It's got to have room. So once you're used to that, if you have blood in your harp where it's getting caught in the harp, which Glaser and harps, Russian Vargan, Glaser and Russian Vargan and flat-fretted harps are kind of like a scissor at the end, but you can modify them so they're no longer that. But if you just modify your technique, you won't have that. Have you ever chipped a tooth or know anybody who has? No, I have not. Pretty much everybody I know plays real jaw harps. The people who chip tooth are people with oral hygiene problems, tooth problems, and also they're playing harps like this, like the Snoopy. These hurt your teeth. Stay away from the Snoopy. That's what gives the jaw harp a bad name. But also, your oral hygiene or oral health is very key into not having jaw harp related injuries, because if your teeth and gums cannot tolerate, say, heavy foods like candy, jerky, toffee, stuff like that, anything tough for your teeth, if that would cause breakage of your teeth, it's probably not the instrument for you. If your teeth are brittle, don't play it. But like if you have normal, healthy teeth and good technique, you are relatively safe. But there are a lot of options out there, like Dan Moy, like Kubing, like Corinding, that are Vietnamese Dan Moy, extremely low cost, played against the lips. Dylan says, I love those magic moments of playing where you do something and you've never done it before. Yeah, it's very cool. Then the Corinding from Indonesia. That's played up against the lips. The Kubing. That's played up against the lips. I also have a hack for playing almost any jaw harp up against the lips. Follow me and scroll down through my stuff. Find the link to that. I think it's jaw harp, no teeth jaw harp hack or something. Let's see, baby. I can't say all of your name. That has a swear word in it. But what's my favorite? I don't have a favorite. At any one time, I play 10 to 15 to 20 different harps. Harps are like food. Each one's different. Each one has a personality and a soul. So like, I don't have a favorite food or a favorite meal because I'm in the mood for different things. Kind of like with the jaw harp, I'm in the mood for different types of harp. Let's play the Ging Gong. Let's get weird with it. I know I said I'd wrap it up. We've been live for 47 minutes. My goodness, how'd that happen? This is the Ging Gong. I think some people refer to this as Jing Gong. The way I play it is not traditional. The way it's normally played is like this is string pulled. This does have a steep learning curve. The way I play it, it's like holding an arrow. Like if you're drawing a bow and you knock the arrow right up against, anchor your deal right up against the corner of your mouth. I like to play it there and pluck here because I feel like I have a better straight line. Like this, a lot of time I'm pulling up, I'm pulling down, forward. It's hard to keep a straight line, but like this, which is non-traditional, this is not the way this instrument's normally played, but it's the way I like it. Because here I'm pulling in a straight line. If you look this, there's not much side deflection. But if I'm doing it like this, I get a lot of side deflection. If your string's doing weird things, it affects the sound. All of it's tied together. Let's see if I can play this. No, maybe not today. Most expensive one. I can't recall right now. I've got a couple $300 and $400 harps. Probably in my Amenchinov are the most expensive. Yeah, Amenchinov's work is crazy expensive now. It's really beautiful. They're works of art. Let me find my Amenchinov. It's an older one, so it's not as expensive as his current work. Okay, I'll play two more harps. We'll play two more. First off, we're going to play a Susap from Papua New Guinea. they have no idea how far these go back into history. People came to Papua New Guinea, they think maybe 50 or 60,000 years ago. They don't know whether this was brought with them or if it came about on its own accord. So we have no idea how old the susap is. As in rainforest environments in the jungle, these do not preserve in nature. They will break down, they're fully biodegradable. It's probably one of the most unique plucking styles because I'm not plucking it, I'm not pulling it like the jingong or the gingong. I am using this. It has a reed cut right in the middle, straight through. I think this was made with stone tools by Steve Kinwald, and then because he studied these, and he also did all the engravings on it was with a smoldering stick over a campfire, the way they would have been made way back when. And what you do is you hold it here so that it can move. It's got to be able to move. So it's just a nice anchor point where it can rock back and forth. And then up here on the string, we don't want the string to go slack. If the string goes slack, it stops making noise. And I'm just going to keep tension. See that tension there? And as I rock, the harp comes to me. And it's striking the center of here right here. 9 new messages. You have a mouth bow. I do have a mouth bow. It's over there on the wall. It's a Wayland Harmon reeded mouth bow. It's a really nice mouth bow. Called, as Dream and I says, jaw harp, although this one in particular is a susap. Oh, hi, Eric M. and greetings from Montreal. Nice. See. Peacock. Yes. There's a lot of nice comments. Thank you. I'll play one more that I'll mention of. This is one of the older I'll mention of. They're not as expensive as they now are. They're very, very high priced. Russian harps are hard to get in general, but his work is really ornate. This is full titanium. Titanium's hard to work with. It's a tricky metal to bend, to manipulate, to adjust. I've heard working with titanium, you'll adjust stuff and then it'll go back because it has such a wonderful memory. Titanium is a tough substance. It's not super hard. Yeah, look at that. This was an Alien Predator theme one. It was one of 2 harps in a set, and I gave one of the harps to one of my friends. Oh, cool. Yeah, send me some of the videos. If I don't reply, you might have to message me on other platforms because TikTok, I get so many messages. It's hard to keep track of. Let's see. Brenton2626 says, hi. Oh, hi back at you. We're going to wrap up the upload. I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Make sure to keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them old, and most of all, be good to each other. Harp out. This is a Tamil Nadu Morsing from southern India. Love y'all. Harp out. And a big thank you to all those who commented and all those who hit the like button. And a few people shared it. I'm like, oh, awesome. Thank you. A big thank you to you. I love y'all. Harp out. And a big thank you to some of our top commenters. Eric M., Dylan, there was a few others. Thank you to all you people who commented. I love y'all. I'll see you next Sunday for Sunday Night Jaw Harp Live. Harp out. And the live stream, we're ending it rightly. Goodbye. I'll see y'all next Sunday.